Last summer, we visited Pete Seeger at his home in Beacon, New York. We covered a lot of territory that day, everything from where ice cream came from to carbon capture schemes that he had 30 years ago, his work with the Clearwater Revival project on the Hudson River, and a lot more. In particular, him explaining how he converted his 1988 Ford Ranger to be all electric using conventional car batteries. And here's a few snippets of Pete from that day.
I want you to know that I feel more optimistic about my country and the world now than I was after Hiroshima, because of all the huge number of good little things that are going on in this country. And I tell people, I relay on to people things that I've learned from others, like the great biologist René Dubos says, think globally, act locally. And I do most of my singing now near my home on the Hudson. I don't travel hardly at all. And
it's an electric car?
it was a Ford 1988 Ranger. And yeah. And this teacher wanted to show his students what could be done. For about $6,000 of parts, he made this vehicle. He sold it to me for $8,000. I said, why are you selling it? He said, well, there's an experiment here, 16 more batteries there.
No
I'm still using the kind of batteries invented by Edison in 1880.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Did you see Who Killed the Electric Car?
Yeah.
Yes.
Those guys should be sued for murder.
They should be.
Because they're now much lighter weight batteries, but they're blown up. They're not being sold.
Wow.
I have to carry 1,500 pounds of batteries around. It's only one step above a golf cart. I can go, if the wind's with me, I can push it up to 40 or 50. And
wow.
The wind's with you today.
Hey Mark, look at this.
I go to town to shop.
It's an electric
or to catch a train
electric
to New
truck.
York and park it.
Yeah.
There's about dozens of little fuses and things around here. This is called a controller, and when three things I must do to make it sharp, and I got to do it in the right order. The first thing is to do is I put it in gear, and the second thing I do is turn on the switch, and the third thing I do is press on the accelerator, and the moment I press on the accelerator, I'm moving.
Wow.
This thing goes from the accelerator to a rheostat to this.
And this gets you back up the hill. See, that's the amazing part. This isn't just running on like a little. This is getting up that hill.
I can carry a ton of rocks or logs.
Oh man!
Wow.
Because I've got low range, and I put it in 4-wheel drive and turn the hubcap.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's as I say, it's only one step above a golf cart, but I use it all around.
That's great. Wow. That's really something.
Little things like this go all over the world.
Yep.
San Francisco, Harry says to the owners, he says, we know containers are coming in, we can't stop them, but all I want to make sure is that the workers get decent pensions when they're forced into retirement. So Toshi's brother got a good retirement pension, retired when he was in his 50s, I think.
That's wonderful.
For years, I've said we have a 50-50 chance of being here in 100 years. Now, I say, after reading Obama's book, I think maybe a little better than 50-50 chance. I don't know if you ever heard my teaspoon brigade story. Have you ever heard? Imagine a big seesaw, and one end is on the ground because there's a basket of rocks, half full of rocks. The other end is up in the air because it's got a basket a quarter full of sand. And some of us got teaspoons, we're trying to fill it with more sand. Most people throughout all our lives have been laughing, people like you have been trying, but you're wasting your time. But we say no, it was a little less than the quarter full of sand, now it's a little more than the quarter full of sand. And we're getting more people with teaspoons all the time. And we think that one of these years it'll be so full that you'll see that whole seesaw going like that. And people say, gee, how did it happen so suddenly? Us and our teaspoons throughout the thousands of years. An idea I had 35 years ago. I call it the carbon ration plan. Everybody 12 years older is issued a ration ticket for the amount of carbon they can use. And to buy a raw carrot won't take any carbon. To buy a cooked carrot will take some carbon. To buy something made of steel will take a lot of carbon ration tickets. Now, you can use that, your ration ticket in every way. If you want to buy a motorboat and go around wasting carbon like that, you can, but then you're going to have to cut down on your car or other uses of carbon. Now, there's an interesting side result. Tropic countries won't need to heat their houses, so they'll have some carbon to sell. So ration tickets will sell, and dollars and francs and marks and rubles and yen will all flow from northern countries into the tropical countries. And so right away it'll start evening up the world's, because it's in the tropics where all the poor people are. Anyway, I called it the carbon ration ticket plan. And admittedly, rich people could buy a whole lot of ration tickets. On the other hand, it would mean that people would start thinking about it every time they buy something. You not only have to pay money, but a certain number of carbon ration tickets at the grocery store, or the hardware store, whatever. Anything sold has two numbers. One is the price, and the other is the carbon ration tickets.
That's great. Well, that's